Rams. Okay, so just to kind of mention that to you guys, and I can't thank Roger enough for everything he did here for this organization. He's a true pro, showed up every day, did what we asked him to do, so wish him nothing but the best moving forward. Okay, moving in, no updates on the injuries that I told you guys about after the game. We'll kind of go and update you as the week goes on. There's some guys, like we've told you before, that were out last week. We'll see what their progress is this week as the week goes on. So that's with the injuries. And then just summarizing kind of the game the other day. Unfortunately, there's some critical moments in games where we didn't make certain plays. I think when you look back at the game, the way Cam played, he played at a high level. He really did some really nice things in the game. You can see the progress and the way he's playing better. That was one of the big focuses. Obviously, you guys asked me 2 weeks ago, one thing that we wanted to do and, have Cam play at a certain level. And there's always going to be plays, when you look at the game, there's a couple throws and then you look at say, man, I wish you would have made them. And I just, like I talked to him again this morning, it's like, hey, listen, just keep going. This was the way you need to play. The throw he had there with 26 seconds left in the first half, wow, that is a big-time throw, and you see that. And then the way they operated the next play, get down there and clock the ball, it's outstanding. And that's what you want to see. You want to see the development of Cam. So I was very pleased with that. The younger players on offense, they each kind of made their plays. So that was outstanding. The two backs, the way we ran the football, that was a big focus going into the game, of saying we got to run the ball. And I think they both had success at times, and the balance of those two guys playing. And from week to week, there's going to be, who's the hot hand at times, and how's the flow of the game going? How are they playing? But overall, though, we had too many missed opportunities in the game offensively. I regret the decision I made to start the second half by not going for it there on the fourth down. That's on me. Like I told you guys, that's on me. So I got to do a better job with that and put the players in a position to keep that drive going. Defensively speaking, I think once we settled down there at the end of into the second quarter, they did a really nice job of getting a couple stops for us, getting us the ball back to get the opportunity to go down there and get some points at the end of the half. Unfortunately, we didn't get it. But that's one of those things we've talked about before, is having the ball at the end of the half, getting points, coming out in the second half. And then there's an opportunity for us, to make some one-on-one plays that unfortunately we didn't make. But like every week, there's going to be the good and the bad. And we came in there in meetings now, coaching it up. So
was the fourth down decision in the second quarter, also in Indianapolis territory, also, was that much different from the one in the third quarter in your mind?
Well, there's different situations that come up, and I think that that one actually worked out because we got that ball back and got Cam made the phenomenal throw. Then we had the down clock situation, so that one worked out the way you wanted it to take that last shot. So we got points. So it's hey, listen, the one I do the second half, like I said, that you just look back at it, and that's one I truly wish I had back. That's on me.
And so step into this role, how much do you have to balance just sort of stabilizing a young team, making sure they're playing with the best possible fundamentals, get individual growth out of them, versus maybe take a gamble here and there to try and put yourself in the best position to win a football?
Well, it's always about winning. Every game you go into, you're trying to win. And you make decisions, and like I told you guys last week, there's some sleepless nights as a coach when you make certain decisions and it doesn't work. If that situation works different yesterday, you come in here and you say, God, I probably still should be aggressive and go for that. But somehow it works out different. You look at, and there's always that side of it too. There's nothing in here when you put game plans together that you're saying one way or the other. They're all good. You think things you call a game as a coordinator. You're hoping things. You're thinking they're supposed to work a certain way. Sometimes they don't, and you have this. That's when you look at yourself. You say, God, I could have done that better. With the growth part of it, we're always trying to. You're always trying, regardless of young team, whatever. You're always trying to get better every week during the season. I've always been a big believer, and from a young age, I was taught a long time ago, as a football team, you'll be playing your best football in December, and then into January. as the end of the year. So you're constantly trying to get better. And I think when you see a lot of our young players, both offensively and defensively, the amount they're playing now, and defensively, you're starting to see some younger guys play a little more due to injury, is that you're seeing the plays they're making, the way Cam played, whether it's Ellick, it's Jim, it's Gunner, the plays, you see these guys getting better. And that's I can't say enough about the young guys that we have. They've done an outstanding job.
How do you size up the players that you have to replace Roger with at the nickel?
Well, it just happened. So the coaching staff will talk about how we want to address this, how we're going to play, who's going to play where, and it's adjustment you have to make. But that's any other change you make during the week or during the game. You got to look at who does what best, and I think that's something that the defensive staff will look at in the next couple of days and say, okay, here's the changes we need to make to put the players in the right positions and move a couple of guys around, whatever we need to do.
Marcus Harris looked in the brief work he's got.
You love the way he comes out and prepares and plays, the chip on the shoulder he plays with, and you saw his through training camp and the time that we've had him. Now I've got, to be honest, I got a closer eye on the defense now. When I was on the offense side of the ball, I was worried more, when I was just with the offense, I spent a lot more time, but I've watched the guys and watched the whole entire team more, and you see the progress that he's made, and, so I'm excited to see him play.
You guys talk a lot about how cornerback is one of the toughest positions to solve in season, to find in season. Why is it so difficult to churn at corner? Why is it such a premium on that position?
Well, you're on an island. That's like you're somehow on Sports Center a lot. Whether it's for the good plays or the bad play, you get out there. There's so many skilled receivers out there. There really are. They're so talented. It's a challenge. You're on an island a lot. You're out there one-on-one, and you got these great talented players, and there's going to be the good and the bad of it. And so you look at the younger players, it's like all young. It doesn't matter what position you're playing in this league. If you're a young player and you're out there, you're the one-on-one battles. You're gonna take your licks from time to time. But it's just you gotta trust the technique. Trust. The thing is, in this game, there's so much more that just goes in. It's all about players going out there and winning their one-on-one battles. But it's the recognition and understanding. You'd be amazed if you were on the headset and the defense is out there and you listen to the defensive staff call out plays and formations and what they're doing, the tendencies and stuff like that. And that, for young players, there's so much to learn, and that's half the battle, is just learning what are the little tips that the offense is giving you: splits, formations, motions. Okay, where, like in the game the other day, where is 84 lined up? What does that mean to you? And that all helps you, but they're out there on an island as a young player too. You're so focused on doing your job, but there's the tricks of the trade you got to learn to really help you. But they're very talented receivers out there, obviously, as we all know.
As you're going through navigating the conversations with the players, you trade McCoy. How do you go about keeping the morale up and not giving them the image that you threw in the towel?
Well, I've been in this business a long time. I've been in this business since 2000, and there's a number of different things that come up. And there's changes happen in this business. And I think the big thing is it's an opportunity for somebody else to step in and play. And that's what, I told the team this morning, is that it's an opportunity for someone else to come in here and step in. And it's all part of the business, and we're moving forward.
When they made you interim coach, Mike, what type of discussion was there from who made this decision for you to take this job about potential roster turnover that would be coming down the pike and how to deal with that?
Well, you always, I've been in this before. I've been a head coach, obviously, before, so I understand that. There was not a lot of discussion, just particularly on, getting this far down the road. We weren't talking 2 weeks out when I first took this job. We were talking about, what were we going to do now? That Monday when they asked me to sit down and talk, we talked about, what we were doing, what the plans were. And, I had a lot to get done in a short amount of time that first week. So these are all discussions I knew would eventually come up down the road. But I don't, as the head coach, I understand the business and the role that I'm in and what I need to do to help this team win. So I knew there's always regardless of when it is, there's going to be tough discussions you're going to have in organizations, whether it's the offseason program, training camp, through the season. This is all part of the business.
Winning though.
Go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, can I follow up? When you talk about winning though, how much tougher does it make it to win when you're selling off assets that are starters?
Well, it's an opportunity for someone else to come and step in and play, and you got to go out there and do your job. So like I keep saying, it's the next man up mentality. Someone's got to go out there and fill that role that Roger was in, and go from there.
Gunner, obviously, first touchdown yesterday. What have you liked about his development? Could we see more of a role for him moving forward?
Well, with his development, I'll say this. Give Luke Stocker a ton of credit for the way he's coached the tight end position. I love what Luke has done with those guys. I think every tight end that's been here, whether they're still here or they're somewhere else playing, I think that just the way Luke coaches the player. He's a former player, so he knows what it takes to play the position. The detail that he goes into, he coaches them extremely hard, but he also loves them up like no other. And I think, that's what the players want. He cares so much about them, and he's a stickler for every detail. So I think that he's really helped Gunner slow the game down a little bit so he can play faster. And I'm really pleased with the way Luke has really coached the entire room and where the tight end position is today.
Take a few more.
Any,
You talked a little bit earlier about Cam and some of the throws he made.
Yeah.
One that missed was the longer one to Iron Manor. It looked maybe on the replay as if perhaps Iron Manor had slowed in that route. What was your take on that play?
Yeah, he slowed down a little bit at the top of the route. We just got that. That's a ball. That's an explosive play that we just got to continue to get out. You got to expect that ball thrown up over the top. So it was a missed opportunity for us.
When you look back at yesterday, how much were missed tackles, missed fits a problem in the run defense, and in particular with your linebackers? Do you need them to make a few more plays and not just tackles?
Yeah, we missed too many tackles against a really good back from the first play on. You see a lot of those explosive plays or big plays that happen. A number of them should be 3-yard gains. But that's a talented back. But you've got to wrap him up. You can't let him get out in space like we did. So that's critical that we do a better job of tackling.
Did you attack physically at the point of attack? Did you lack physicality?
No, I think we missed tackles at times. That's the key thing is, you're always going to look at plays and say, yeah, we can have more push here, but I think the number one cause was the missed tackles.
last two? No, you faced the Chargers as an assistant since leaving there, but anything special for you personally facing them as a head coach?
I can't thank the Spanos family enough for the opportunity they gave me to lead their organization. What a great family. I owe them the world. And there's so many great people there. I still stay in contact with a number of people there. So it's a great organization, and I love the family, love the people, the organization. It's the next one up, and you always like going against those former teams. It's kind of fun. It's good. It'll be great to see everybody, but it's the next one on the schedule. So we got to go out there and play our best game of the year against a really good team.
It seems like there's been a few games this year when the defense has taken a while to get its footing underneath them and then kind of levels off for a little bit. How much of a difference do you think it would make a couple early stops?
Oh, it'd be outstanding. I would love to see that. A couple stops early, a couple scores offensively, big plays in the kicking game. That would be great for us to get off. And that's something you talk about every week is how do we get off to a fast start? I think that's the key. Get off to a fast start, play complementary football, all three phases together. Let's see what happens when we do that.
This would obviously lessen pressure on the offense too. It seems like a lot of times the offense immediately, has to kind of play even up with the other teams.
Yeah, but I think that's been really, when you get down the second half by certain scores, that's when you got to start doing. I think, but on the first, you got to kind of stay in routine, and you have a game plan. You got to be careful getting away from your game plan too early. And just stick to your plan. Keep going. There's a reason why we spend all this time in here and spend endless hours during the night of putting plans together. And I just think it's great to see that the development and the way Cam had played the past couple of weeks. And there's going to be some mistakes, and he'll tell you the same thing. But I think that you're showing that, and now we got to finish drives and make that like you mentioned the third down play. We got to make that play. We got to make those plays to put scores up because we got to score some points on offense too. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. See you in a couple days.
Draymond, you're on a bit of a hot streak, 3 consecutive games with sacks. What's clicking for you?
Just hunkering down on my technique and my focus on the film. I'm a guy that's a film junkie, so I'll watch people across the league. Like, I'll watch my film. I'll go back and watch the guys I played with, or it's just some popular guys who are good rushers around the league, just try to pick up something.
You've seen Jarvis traded and now Roger traded. You're on a 1-year deal. Is it hard to not look over your shoulder right now?
No, because as long as I'm in an NFL locker room and I can provide some service, I don't have anything to worry about. I let that part of that side take care of itself. But right now, my focus is on living and breathing, being a Tennessee Titan.
Do you guys talk about the deadline as players, as a locker room?
No, but we are aware of it. I mean, I feel like Twitter forces me to watch it, even though I put not interested. I just want to watch something funny. So you see it.
What most went wrong in the run defense yesterday when you guys went back and watched?
It's a bunch of stuff from, just not having each other's back, or, I think the obvious one is missed tackles, misfits. But it was a bunch of stuff that, from top to bottom, from safety to D-line, we just got to be better at.
Encouraging that you guys still had the 3 sacks without Jeff yesterday as well, who's kind of been a leader in that regard. Seems like you guys in general have been getting better at getting after the quarterback last year.
Yeah, we take pride in that, especially because I think when he got hurt, the coaches kind of, it wasn't like a loud challenge, but it was some type of challenge there. And, we know what we're capable of, and right now things are clicking, but it's only, for me, it's only been 3 games. I'm not pat me on the back, I need to hang my jersey in the rafter type thing. It's cool. I'm glad I'm doing it. I want to continue to do it.
As you guys trying to pick up the effort on the defensive side of the ball, is it as simple as finding more of those fits and making sure you tackle, or do you guys need more guys to make plays defensively?
I think it's both. We just got to rally together. You see the good teams across the league, you see somebody run the ball, you see a whole bunch of guys running to it, not just 2 or 3 or 4. You see damn near 10. And that's what we need to be. We need to be violent with chasing the ball. I mean, myself included. I have my moments where I'm dang, it's a big play. I slow up. I need to keep running and trying to chase the ball too. So we got to just band together, be a real defense, and be hunters.
It's hard to hear or see or be part of watching a guy score 6 touchdowns against you in 2 games the way Taylor did.
Yeah, it's a competitive. I'm overly competitive, and I can say the guys are too. Where you don't want to see the same guy scoring. You don't want to see anybody scoring, period. But the same guy, it makes it, I think, 2 times worse. And we just got to be better.
I don't know if you're ready to look ahead or not, but you've got the Chargers and Joe Alt. I don't know if you played against him and where you put him up in the league. I know he's among the very best.
I don't know where to put him in the league. Right now, he seems like a top 5 possible tackle. We got a big challenge. This is where the film work is going to come in even more in depthly. The better the player, the more you got to watch film and see who beat him with this move. Can I make that part of my repertoire as well coming Sunday? And all I know right now is that he's a hell of a player and he's young, and the future is bright for him.
You talked about your attitude personally when you see some guys get moved. You understand the business in the league, but is it difficult when the locker room, you're 1-7, you see some of that, to make sure that everybody in the locker room is still bought in and isn't giving up on the season?
Yeah, I think older guys, I think we have a good understanding of how it goes. But, younger guys can get to oh, man, there's a lot going on. This guy got traded. I was just playing with him. Now he's out. So, we got to be a positive reinforcement, for ourselves, but especially young guys, too, as they, take a part of this new journey.
It seems like there's been a few games this year where the defense has given up maybe scores in the first drive or first couple drives, then kind of levels out after that. I guess maybe first, why do you think that is, and two, how much of a difference would it make to get some early stops, like on the first year?
Early stops are huge momentum swings. It's been the little small momentum changes that happen throughout the game that kill us. We're playing good football, sound football, and then boom, an 80-yard run or just something just busts, huge. And we kind of just want those explosives to not be 80 yards, hopefully just 20. You can get them down, you can continue to drive because, those big 80 ones are definitely momentum killers. And, they've killed us throughout these weeks. But we got to keep finding ways. As long as there's life, as long as there's a chance we can make it, we got to do our job.
As one of the vets in the locker room, Draymond, what do you see as maybe some reasons to point to for hope that there are W's out there to be gotten?
I see a lot of positive reinforcement from young guys. I mean, the young guys are always coming in smiling. I don't know if that's them being naive or, or something else, but I do feel the positivity. No one's in the locker room sulking. Everyone's still talking to each other, still being friends, still being brothers, because we all we got. And we got to find a way to sit together throughout these weeks to try to win games. Like, yeah, we're practicing hard. Yeah, our preparation is good, but we got to turn that preparation into wins. And being sad and not talking to each other, that's not going to help.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
I guess what's clicking for you as you start to find your footing on the offense as well as special teams?
Yeah, I think it's just continuing to work, right? Like, this is a process, and it's, how do I find a way to get better? How do we find a way to get better each and every day? And, I think success doesn't always come and, right when you want it, but just continue to work and push.
A little bit of a coincidence that you've taken off since the coaching change, or is there something that Mike and the change has helped allow you to kind of blossom a little bit more on offense?
No, I don't think that necessarily is what to do with that. At the end of the day, we still got the same players on the field that are out there trying to make plays. It's just, being able to, continue to work and grow, right? Like, whatever opportunities we have on Sundays, just making the most out of it.
One change that we have seen is, I think first 5-6 games, all of your catches were at or behind the line of scrimmage. And how much different is it for you to be able to use your speed and get downfield to open things up?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Me and Cam had conversations about it, utilizing downfield, utilizing middle of the field. So to get those opportunities in the game, to have the things that you could learn from, right, connecting, I think it's going to be really beneficial for me and him moving forward and, help the team move the ball.
Draymond just said that one of the things that gives him a little bit of optimism is that the young guys are still coming into the building smiling. What is causing the smiles? Like, where is the positivity coming from you and the young guys?
We're blessed, you know what I mean? I think that when you're around this group of guys, we work our tails off. We're not getting the results we want, obviously, which is frustrating, but, I've been given so much. This is my dream to represent, an organization like this, to be at this level, right? So who am I to come in the facility without a positive mindset? My goals, be in Tennessee a long time and to win a lot of football games. And, I think the way that it starts is just continue to be locked in the process and try to get better every single week. And the best way to do that is to have a smile on your face.
I know you're not in it for individual honors, but you continue to lead the league in all-purpose yards. I don't know if that's something you thought was possible before the season, but where do you stand on how you've been able to produce in that regard?
Yeah, I never really even thought about that, to be honest. Obviously, it's a cool thing that happens, but at the same time, like, I'm only there because my teammates are blocking me on kickoff return, straining for me. The success in the offense, Cam doing a great job of getting me the ball. I think it's something that you can look at and be like, all right, this is cool. But also, when you look at it too much, it can cause complacency. And I have a lot of stuff that I need to improve on to help this team win games.
I know you guys are looking to put together a 4-quarter complete game, but where are you seeing Cam make progress here in the last couple of weeks? Feels like the offense is at least starting faster.
Yeah, I think that when you're looking at film, you have to be critical, but also like the first half of the Patriots game, and then this past week I felt like we were able to move the ball. Now it's how do we finish drives? How do we make sure that we're ending drives and points? There's 5 or 6 drives out there this past week that we probably should have got points on. And it's frustrating because you don't get it, but it's also like, all right, you're in position to get it. So now what's the next step to getting better?
Seems like all the 4th-round picks this year, as well as Cam, developed a pretty close relationship pretty quickly. How encouraging was it, to see something like Sunday where all 3 of you guys are making an impact in the passing game? And is that something you guys continue to talk about as you came in together?
Yeah, we put a lot of time in, a lot of early mornings, watching film. So to see it start to come to fruition, is pretty cool. I know how much work those guys put in, how high character guys they are. So anytime I see Gunner, Alec, Cam, really anybody on the team have success, it's a really positive thing, and I'm excited to continue to play with those guys.
Anything else?
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.